Greg was an avid nature photographer who spent most of his time exploring the woods with his drone. But on this particular day, while capturing the beautiful scenery, Greg's drone lost connection and fell from the sky. Worried about the expensive gadget's condition, he rushed to the crash site and found that it was just slightly damaged. Relieved that his drone wasn't shattered, Greg brushed off the leaves and took it home, hoping to retrieve the footage he just captured. But before we get into that story, please consider subscribing to our channel, Story Weaver, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. Now, when Greg tried turning on the drone, it didn't respond. Desperate to see what he had captured that day, he plugged the drone into his computer using a special cord he had to search for in his room. To his amazement, the footage began playing on his laptop, and he saw something he had never seen before. In the split-second footage, he saw two creatures that looked like nothing he had ever encountered before. Greg was astonished by what he saw and watched the footage repeatedly, trying to figure out what the creatures were. The excitement of this potential discovery raced through his body. However, he didn't realize the consequences it could bring. Nevertheless, despite the potential risks, Greg was determined to find out what he had captured on his drone that day. He couldn't shake off the feeling that this could be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Greg had always been passionate about nature and all the different species that called the forest home, and this sighting had the potential to be a breakthrough discovery. With this realization, Greg knew he had to investigate further. He couldn't let this opportunity pass by. Greg also understood that he needed to exercise caution and secrecy, but his curiosity got the best of him. As a nature enthusiast, he had a deep appreciation for all living beings, and he hoped that these creatures were not endangered. Greg was determined to solve the mystery of the strange creatures he had captured on video. And after watching the footage repeatedly, he became increasingly curious and convinced that they were something extraordinary. He knew that the only way to get answers was to return to the woods and try to observe them in person. However, it was getting late and the woods could be dangerous at night. So he decided to wait until the morning. While waiting, Greg posted the footage on social media and asked for help from his friends in the area. He also felt proud of his discovery and showed off his drone and the incredible footage he had captured. However, he had no idea what the consequences of his actions would be. The next morning, Greg set out on his great adventure, excited and determined to find the creatures again. As he made his way deeper into the woods, he noticed that the trees were getting taller and the underbrush thicker. He tried to be as quiet as possible and set up his drone to get a closer look at the rustling noise ahead. To his great disappointment, it was just a deer making that noise. Despite his efforts, he was unable to find the strange creatures from the video. He returned home feeling defeated and logged onto his social media only to discover that he had made a big mistake. His inbox was filled with negative and urgent messages, including even threats from some individuals. He realized that some of the messages were from scientists who had urged him to get more proof, while others advised him to drop the matter entirely. Greg had no idea what was going on. So to avoid further attention, Greg removed the video from social media altogether and responded to a few of the scientists, hoping to get some more answers. Later, sirens could be heard in the distance and the police arrived at his home, arresting him on the spot. And after hours of interrogation, the police finally decided to let him go, warning him to keep his mouth shut and delete all the footage. The experience left Greg shaken to the core and he decided to move away. However, he continues to capture beautiful landscapes and share them online, but he never again tried to uncover the mystery of the strange creatures in the woods that day. In conclusion, Greg's curiosity and determination led him on an adventure that ultimately ended in disappointment and danger. His actions drew unwanted attention and consequences that he could never have foreseen. It serves as a warning and a lesson to think carefully before sharing sensitive information or footage online.